Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're going to be talking about the good old Dallas Mavericks, who they snapped the 5-game win streak. So you're thinking, Sarah, why would we be talking about better than you think? Well, I personally believe that this stretch, as you know, Luka Dončić has been out since December 25th, the Christmas Day special, and they've been able to just keep going. And I think a large part of that is due to this team being built, I think, really well to withstand the punches. And I think, yeah, they've had a slump in comparison to last year, as they've had injuries to Luka Dončić and Kyrie, but I think their depth is being showcased, especially against the Lakers squad, that they were able to snap that 5-game losing streak, 118-97. Quinten Grimes, who hopefully they extend, hit a career high 6 3-pointers, and he dropped 26 points, 9 rebounds. They've been able to identify talent and adapt those players into roles for whenever they've needed opportunities to play above their weight without a star player. That being Luka Dončić, that being Kristaps Porzingis, Kyrie. So people forget Spencer Dinwiddie when he took a help. Like Spencer Dinwiddie played like an all-star when they went on that Western Conference final run a few years ago. I think PJ Washington, a two-way guy who's been another notable contributor, had 22 points and 8 rebounds so far. I think they also were able to outscore the team's bench compared to the Lakers team 50-25. I think is just another testament of the depth and readiness of their whole squad as a whole. And one thing I think that this team has done on the season that has allowed them to have a competitive edge is they're a really efficient shooting team. Almost 50% from the field at 48%, 37.3% from three. And they are one of the stronger rebounding teams, 45 rebounds a game. And I know Dončić has been limited, but 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists from him. So I just think having this team be as solid as they are in a very competitive conference, I just think that they are looking more for the playoffs, and they're built for the playoffs. Now, since December 25th, Kyrie has obviously been the standout performer, averaging 30 points through 4 games, playing 38 minutes a night. And he's been pivotal in any time since joining the Mavericks. And anytime since joining the Mavericks and Kyrie has played without Luka, he has been pivotal. This team actually plays a little bit different without Luka. They're actually a bit more of a faster transition team and not as methodical and slow down the pace in the half court when it's just Kyrie out there, as obviously different play styles. Now, I think Luka Dončić being sidelined due to this injury is actually allowing them to play rotations that they wouldn't normally play and to get to experiment a little bit more than you would normally think. And if I look at my screen right here, so far during this time, one of my buddies is in LA right now and they're evacuating because of the fires. I'm really hoping that it's like not that bad, man. My apology. So the Kyrie through 4 games, 38 minutes a night. PJ 30 minutes a night, averaging 15 points. Klay Thompson is averaging 14 points, and this is since December 25th, by the way, guys. Quinten Grimes 15 points, 29 minutes. Spencer Dinwiddie 8 games, 27 minutes a night, 12.5 points. And then outside of that, you got Kleba, who he's been on a rough stretch, but he gives you some defense. Derek Lively's been playing well. Najee Marshall's been on a rough stretch, and Daniel Gafford's doing his thing. I mean, Jaden Hardy's been kind of like fulfilling his potential and looking kind of like a 6-man. Also, Brandon Williams deserves some shout out, as he's a guy who's also been efficient in his minutes. I think this team's ability to step up in the absence of their main stars, especially their main star, is a testament to like the Mavericks' depth and the coaching staff's ability to maximize their players' talents. I also like that they're giving some run to Omax and, as I already said, Brandon Williams and Jaden Hardy, but just because with Kleba and Marshall struggling and still being in the rotation, if obviously, I know it's garbage time, but Brandon Williams and Omax could maybe get some playing time and work themselves into the rotation. As I think Jaden Hardy at least has a conversation. He took Tim Hardaway's job last year. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, though, are still anchoring that defensive interior. And Lively is obviously taking that starting role, and Gafford's off the bench now. Klay Thompson, still the solid three-point shooter. Obviously, not the guy he used to be in terms of a scorer, but he still can knock down a shot when left open. I think Jason Kidd is at times showing that he can effectively utilize and adapt on the fly. I think the adaptability is seen in the shifting player roles and rotations and managing the minutes to see what each of his players are individually capable of and what works within the team dynamic. I personally believe that approach is not only going to help in the circumstances like this where you're having the absence of a star player, but also will allow the Mavericks to be much more competitive in a tough Western Conference playoffs. And the team's performance in ending their 5-game losing streak is obviously, I think, a showcase of their depth and the ability to execute and to just continue to shoot efficient, leverage their bench, which they went out and upgraded, is indicative of a well-rounded squad that Nico Harrison built. So I think the Mavericks' performance this season is just them taking the steps there. I know record-wise, so you're going to say they're the 5th seed, the 6th seed right now they're the 5th seed as of right now in the West. So you could argue that, they're punching below their weight for a team that made the NBA Finals last year. I personally think getting Klay Thompson, the players they did, size-wise, depth-wise, outside, the Thunder, the Celtics, and the Knicks are the only teams. Those 3 teams are arguably, and maybe the Grizzlies, are all the teams that I would feel more confident saying that are better than the Mavericks. But outside of that, I think it's up for grabs, guys. So let me hear your guys' thoughts. That's it. I'm done rambling. Yeah. I just don't know how else we would put it, but I'm always surprised though by how, as a team, people think the Mavericks are doom and gloom. I felt like we saw people overreacting a month ago that they should fire Mr. Jason Kidd, but NBA fans are crazy.